What is up, y'all? Within today's video, we're going to be talking about James Charles for like multiple different reasons, but mostly about this Grindr situation. I am so curious to know what y'all have to say about this, and I don't know why. I thought it was so damn hilarious. I was watching that, I was like, you've got to be kidding me right now. Like, y'all, if you guys have not seen the Grindr stuff, I'm gonna play it within today's video. And I was just like, oh, okay, this is so bizarre. Before we get into that though, I want to let y'all know, I feel like in the next like couple of weeks videos, you guys are probably gonna hear me say, bring it to me, girl, bring it to me, girl, like 500 times. I literally have it on repeat in my head. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it's from Shadi Bae. I was just showing my brother Shadi Bae because he had no idea who she was. And I was like, fool, you're 21 years old. Like, she's right around your like age group and you're always on TikTok. Like, how do you not know who Shadi Bae is? He's like, nah, I never heard of her. And then I go to search for her and the number one like trending sound of hers, well, from her, was bring it to me, girl, where she was like on a live, I guess, and she was telling her dog to bring the toy to her, but she does I don't know if she doesn't know how to, or like she doesn't pronounce the G in bring, so she's like, bring it to me, girl. Also, I saw a bit of her live from the other day. Actually, you know what, I saw her live like 2 days this week. I forget which live, y'all, but she was making a comment in that live, and we're gonna get into James Charles. Okay, I don't want to hear it, but I'm like, this is on my mind right now. She had made a comment that like she should start trademarking things because she makes all of these catchy phrases, and I'm like, first of all, because she was talking about grr, I'm like, you have got me so far messed up. I feel like drag queens have been saying grr for years, like grr, like that has been a thing. I don't know why, for some reason I was like, girl, don't be sitting over here talking about like you said grr first. Like, no, if you have been around drag queens for years, they have always said grr. Like, that's just been the thing. Anyway, sorry, I wanted to get that off my chest. Bring it to me, grr. No, just like, I'm literally gonna try my hardest. My ADD is ADDing today, okay? It's because I've been waking up every single morning at 7:45 and walking 6 miles, and I've just been on one, y'all. I'm like, woo! Anyways, we're gonna be talking about James Charles for multiple different reasons. One being because I want to talk about his whole car situation, because I can't believe like this is blowing up on TikTok and I have questions about it. And then two, we're gonna be talking about his makeup brand because he is teasing palettes. And then three, we're going to be talking about the Grindr situation. And I'm sorry, that Grindr situation, I'm like, okay, there are so many damn delusional people in the world. I am so sorry. I'm just gonna go on and say it. But we'll talk about that at the end of the video, of course. Make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Let's get into it. I want to be so for real with you guys. I want to know how y'all enjoy watching my videos. I be seeing some of you guys comment, I watch every single one of your videos. I find them comforting. Y'all, a couple people have said, I found your videos comforting, or I find your videos comforting. And I'm like, there must be something wrong with you, because I watch back my videos, obviously, when I edit them, and I'm like, holy shit, I am probably the most annoying person on the internet. I mean, like, besides Shadi Bae, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, how do people enjoy that? Especially when I have like an ADD. I don't want to say like an ADD flare up, because I don't even know if that's like a term. But like when my ADD is like over the top, I realize how fast I talk. I realize how much I say. I realize how much I go off on a tangent about random things that don't have to do with the, you know, topic of the video. And I'm just like, damn, the fact that people comment down below saying that they like it, I'm like, I'm questioning you guys. I'm like, are you guys fake, or are you guys keeping it real, or like, do you guys have worse trauma than I do? Because the fact that you find this comforting says a lot about you. I'm just saying. But y'all know how I am. I've been on the internet for damn near 9 years now, and that's never going to change. I'm just a hot mess, okay? And y'all, I'm gonna be real with you guys. The older I get, I feel like my ADD is getting worse. I'm just letting you guys know. Anyways, let me shut up. Also, what do you mean? What I mean also, the first thing that I want to talk about is James Charles and his like car situation, because I have some questions about this, okay? Obviously, I don't know the ins and outs here, but when I first started seeing him doing all these like car reviews, first of all, I thought it was bizarre that it was blowing up on his TikTok and bringing in like millions of views for him, which is kind of crazy, because I wouldn't take James Charles to be a reliable source for like car information. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like obviously when it comes down to it, he's not a car person. Like, you know, I'm not trying to be judgy here, but it just doesn't seem like he knows what he's talking about. Do you know what I mean? Also, the fact that he like only wants to drive electric, I don't know. I have some questions for him. I really do. Like, what makes you only want to drive electric? I am so sorry, but like, no. EVs, I rented one before. I had to drive it out to Phoenix, and y'all, no. If you, I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it before. I understand people are saying, oh, they're better for the, you know, planet and whatnot. I'm like, no. Y'all, it normally takes me 5 hours to get from LA to Phoenix. It took me 9.5 hours from having to charge that damn car so much. I'm like, I'm not going to do this. Like, I'm really not going to do this. But anyways, my questions are here, and a lot of people seem to be having these questions too. Is he getting paid by the dealerships that are loaning him out these cars? Because I just find it to be a little bit bizarre that that he is doing so many different car reviews, and I totally get it. As soon as he did the first one and the second one, he started seeing that, oh my gosh, this is growing to be really big on his TikTok, which he's probably like, what the hell? I didn't expect this to be so big. So he's obviously like, okay, let me try more and more cars to bring in more views for him. And I totally get that. But also, I am so curious to know if he's getting paid, because obviously he would have to post that. And this is what's weird to me, is I do see people like comment down in his videos, oh, obviously the dealerships are letting him borrow the car for a day because they're hoping to get some promotion, they're hoping to get a sale from it. And yes, I do understand all those things, but James Charles is so famous on TikTok, and he brings in so many views on TikTok, that I know for a fact, at a minimum, that fool is probably making $50,000 from a sponsored post. So I'm kind of like, okay, I'm curious to know if he's over here settling, like, oh, Rivian wants to send me a car today, sure, let me try out this Rivian car, and they're just gonna give it to me for 24 hours. I feel like, no, James Charles would want some money out of that. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, given that he is so popular and famous on TikTok, I feel like he'd be like, you want to send me a car for 24 hours? You better send me at least $20,000 or something. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm like, that's a lot of promotion for these car companies. And if you guys have not seen, car companies are literally like commenting underneath his post and saying, try out this car next, try out this car next, like big brands, y'all. I'm like, okay, this is getting a little bit crazy. Before we get into the Grindr situation, which I just want to laugh about that, I do want to talk about his brand, because he is going to be I'm assuming he's going to be coming out with a rainbow palette. And y'all, I was working on a video, and I legit was like, I was gonna title it like, I hate pride makeup, but then I was like, people are just gonna try to cancel me. I just already know it, but maybe I'll still go through with the damn video. But I was like going through all of the Pride collections, and I was like, hate it even more. Like, everything just seems so like, oh, let me just try to sell a rainbow palette and say it's like, I'm like, no, like, I'm over it, okay? I have my reasoning. Any which ways, somebody had commented to James Charles that he should come out with the rainbow palette, and then he was talking about it. I'm curious to know, because this fool seems to be working on so many damn products at the same time. And I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts and opinions are about this, because he does kind of like reveal his palette a little bit. Do you guys feel this is totally like unnecessary, obviously, but do you guys feel like it's necessary for him to come out with a black or white eyeshadow palette within his palettes? Also, do you guys feel like him talking about the makeup, do you think that at this point it's, I don't want to say gimmicky, but like low-key gimmicky? Because I really do want to know if he is factoring in people's, opinions. If you guys don't remember, before I did do a video to where he was taking concept designs from people on TikTok to come up with components for some of his like lip products, or his like lip glosses, or just things like that. And a lot of people came out with things, and then he did a video responding to them all. And it really does seem like there was, I don't want to say like the word negative, I just don't know of another word to say, critical, or no, like he critiqued every single thing as to why it wouldn't be good to pick that. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as a viewer, I was like, oh, okay, so that means that you got people like hyped up to create you a component, but then you probably already have a component picked out, and it just seems like people are commenting. Do you know what I mean? So my whole question is basically about the makeup situation. He is supposedly already working on a rainbow palette, but then he's asking people, do you guys want the black in there? Do you guys want this or that in there? And I'm just kind of like, at the end of the day, obviously, like, one, do you come out with whatever you want to come out with? Obviously, you're the one creating it. Two, do you guys feel like he's obviously just doing this to get more traction about his brand? Because my whole thing, and I've always said this, and I always think it's a great concept, if you as a brand owner, say for example, like, you have ideas about this palette, and you get onto the internet and you're like, look, I'm going to take a vote of this, and then you really do implement those votes into your final decision. But I'm starting to wonder though, and I'm a little bit skeptical to know if he's going to be making decisions, or he's going to be taking people's, opinions into consideration before making a decision, I should say. Because I'm just kind of like, after the whole situation with the whole like lip glosses, and everyone came up with like really good components, like there was one really cute one that like it looked like a like brush, paintbrush, and it was a tube and everything. I was like, okay, that seems like it could be affordable, and it's super, super cute. And I don't know, I didn't understand why he has, something negative to say about every single one. I'm just kind of like, did you already have it designed, and you're just kind of like over here getting people on the bandwagon? Do you know what I mean? Also, do you guys feel, because in my personal opinion, do you guys feel like it's necessary to put a black in a rainbow palette? I understand, obviously, you want that depth in there because you can, create, say, for example, if you have a forest green in there, you can make that forest green a little bit more deep. But he does have black in his original palette. So I'm curious to know what you guys have to say about that. I would say, as a makeup artist, of course, first of all, I'm just kind of over rainbow palettes, but I do feel like if you are a working makeup artist and you're like, okay, I want to take a rainbow palette with me to go do a client's makeup, you're probably going to want a white in there and you're probably going to want a black in there, but those shades are in his original palette. So that's where I'm curious to know. But my bigger question is, do you guys feel like he's just low-key kind of using the situation? Because I kind of feel like I want to see you implement people's, critique to it, because I feel like then that's when you're being like a really good brand owner, and you're really open to people's opinions. And I would like that, because I think that's cool. Y'all know I've always said it before with Jeffree Star when he did this series with Shane Dawson. It got me like so excited. And y'all know I've said it before, I'll say it again. That palette, it was kind of ugly, you know what I mean? Like the color story, I was like, okay, I literally even said it in my video way back then. I was like, this color story is all over the damn place. It really is. But I just love the whole making of, like the whole behind the scenes, and like you felt like you were a part of it. So I feel like it's a really cool concept if James Charles were to actually implement what people say. Lastly on the list, we have to talk about this Grindr situation, y'all. He opened up about a Grindr hookup, and I'm just like, y'all, I'm gonna play the TikTok for you guys. But this is how I know people in the world, especially on Grindr, are delusional. Like absolutely delusional. Check out this TikTok.
I am very much against people posting private conversations from dating apps online. It is a violation of privacy. I think you're a fucking loser if you do that. It's happened to me so many times that I would never wish it upon anybody. However, the message that I just received is too crazy not to share. This is a man that I've hooked up with once before, had a great time. He's back in town in LA. I said, want to hang out? He said, I could be convinced. I said, bro, what the fuck? I'm not playing games with you, sir. You either want to hang out or you fucking don't. I'm not going to sit here and beg for you. Look what his response said. I'm just more into very femme guys right now. What? I'm sorry. Oh, is this my did you just call me a man? Like, am I in my mask era? I don't think so.
Y'all, please let me know your thoughts and opinions about that. Because I consider, first of all, a lot of people like out in the dating world consider me to be femme, which I'm kind of like, y'all, I dress like, y'all, I literally dress like a mannequin from Walmart. First of all, I dress like I'm homeless. I literally have no fashion sense whatsoever. I'm way too lazy to even wear nice clothes. And on top of that too, like when I go out and stuff, like I literally have on just what I have on right now. Literally just brows and just, well, not even really just brows. I just pretty much have it in the front, y'all, and just some foundation. So I'm just kind of like, if they consider me to be femme in the dating world, in the Grindr world, how is this person writing to James Charles and saying I'm into more femme guys right now? What's more femme than James Charles? I am so sorry. I'm like, okay, in that case, I'm just kind of like, maybe like a full-on like drag queen, maybe like just a girl. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Sometimes like things like this, I'm like, I wonder if it's kind of made up. You know what I mean? Only because I'm like, y'all, let's go ahead and keep it real here. Like James Charles is pretty much as femme as it gets for a boy. Do you know what I mean? Like he's pretty damn femme. Also, I did see a couple comments in there, and James Charles obviously said within that TikTok, like, oh, I'm very much against posting, screenshots of conversations. Obviously, you guys know people have done that to him before. What do you guys feel about that? I'm gonna be real with you guys. I feel like when things are so bizarre, like, who cares? If you're not posting their picture, you're not posting their address, you're not posting any details about the person, I'm just kind of like, okay, if it's funny, if it's bizarre, whatever. You guys know on the podcast before, I literally talked about, like, Grindr messages, some bizarre ones. Yes, I didn't post the screenshots. I just read them off, but I'm just kind of like, I would post them because I'm like, well, it's not putting the person out there. It's just putting the conversation out there, and they're just, words, in my opinion. Anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.